We've got our first. If you own real estate, you're going to pay real estate taxes. Even if that property is paid off and you own it lock, stock, and barrel, you're going to still be assessed taxation on that property. We've got a special guest with us here today, Chris Breck of Assurance Title, who's going to talk to us about how you can potentially mitigate that expense and save money on your real estate tax assessment. Here we go. Okay, welcome back to another segment of Money Changes Everything. I'm Tyrone Keys. We've got a very important segment here this afternoon, one of our one-on-ones. Today, we've got Chris Breck with Title Talk 360. I want you guys to check him out today. He's been kind enough to come on over and talk to us about a very important issue that has to do with taxation. Now, we're always talking about taxation. I love the country. I know we got to pay taxes. But the federal government, state government, and the local governments, they have put things in place to help us either appeal certain aspects of taxation or give us incentives if we help the government do things like provide jobs or housing. So today we're going to talk about the assessment that you get on your home. And we're going to talk about how to appeal that if you believe that that assessment is not accurate. So we've got Chris Breck on. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Tyrone. Thanks for having me again.
No problem. Chris, tell us a little bit about your background so we can familiarize people with what you do.
I've been in the title business for 15 years. Back in 2008, when the market crashed, we saw a lot of our clients have a need for revaluing their home. Unfortunately, they had a house that was now worth $300,000 that was being taxed as if it was worth $400,000. So my partners and I started a little side company, and we successfully helped, a couple thousand people reduce their property taxes. We also successfully failed at a couple hundred as well. So we learned some lessons along the way.
Sure. Okay. And we're always reminding our viewers that if you can use these mechanisms that allow for the legal challenge, like in the case of property taxes or incentives to exploit certain deductions or credits or whatnot, then you can take that money and put it to work for you. So it's very important that we understand taxation. And another thing, before we get into our questions that we have for you, when you take federal income taxes, state income taxes, sales taxes, gasoline taxes, when you take all of that and combine it and do a calculation that we encourage people to do, you can get a feel for what percentage of your income is going to taxes. So then that makes issues like the one you're going to talk about even more important. So let's get to the first question here. Why should you appeal your property taxes?
Well, you hit on it. You want to make sure that you are not paying the government more than their fair share. We have schools, we have roads we got to pave. We have police we need to support and everything. But in the end, we need our money to build our own personal wealth and protect our children and our future. So we want to make sure that if there's an opportunity to save money on taxes, we are taking advantage of that.
Absolutely. So when can they appeal? When can they make this appeal if they get that assessment and they don't feel that it's accurate?
You have three options really to appeal the assessment value of a property. Anytime you buy a property, you have 60 days to appeal the value. Any given year, you can file an appeal, but you're always appealing the next year, and that's called a petition for review. But right now, 1/3 of all Maryland homeowners have gotten reassessed, and they received a reassessment notice in the mail. And they have 45 days from the time they received that paper to appeal whatever the value is on that property.
Okay. So if you just purchased the home, you've got 60 days to do it, 45 days from when you get the assessment otherwise.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what's the first step then in prosecuting that appeal?
First step for me would always be to talk to a realtor. Ask them, if you were to list my house today, what would you sell this house for? And if that number is less than the phased in value given on this form, then just get your form in. Don't let the wait, don't let the work of getting it done scare you and slow you down and let you procrastinate and put it off. Just get the form in, submit it, sign it. You can do it online now. It's very, very easy. Just get your spot in line. You're going to have, 60 days at least until you're hearing in most cases. So you've got time, but just don't procrastinate. Get that form in, and then you can start working on your actual appeal.
Okay. Now I know that when folks have a mortgage that they're paying, they're getting this tax taken care of, so to speak. It's kind of on autopilot through the escrow account in the payment. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. So that's happening. So an increase in the tax assessment could result in a higher payment. And also, I want to find out if you don't have a mortgage, though, what do those individuals need to do if they are just paying the tax on their own?
Well, if your mortgage company is paying your taxes, if you're paying your taxes, you're going to feel it at the same time. A lot of people get this notice in January and they don't really know what it is. They don't pay attention to it. But then in July 1st, when the tax bill comes out, they see that their taxes are higher. And that's when they want to take action. You can take action. However, once a bill is out, it's out. There's nothing you can do about it. You can appeal next year's bill if you want. But if you want to attack the bill that's coming out this year, you need to get the form in now.
Okay. And there's a such thing as a property worksheet. I know you were discussing that with me. Can you go into the importance of the property worksheet for the viewers?
Yes, you want to see what the assessment office thinks your house looks like. The property worksheet is going to have the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, square footage, lot size, the particulars about your home. And what we find is sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they think you have a 4-bedroom house and you have a 3-bedroom house, or they say 2.5 baths and you're 1.5. Sometimes they get this information based on permits that are pulled at the build of the house, and maybe when the builder was designing your house, they pulled permits for a 4-bedroom house, but in the end they didn't actually put in that 4th bedroom. So the county doesn't know that they didn't do that. They're happy to tax you on it.
Sure.
Because they think you have it, but it's up to us to just tell them that, and prove to them that, I only have 3.
Got you. So actually that sounds like a fair process. The county is saying, hey, this is what we see. This is what we think we're going to do. We're going to assess you at X amount unless you kind of instruct us otherwise and give us some additional information.
Correct.
Okay. And it's funny because we don't get that opportunity on a lot of other taxes. So this is actually a good, when you go to the gas station, you can't appeal that tax. So this is great.
And it's important to kind of note here, I've only had 2 cases in my career where an assessor actually came to the property to verify what the homeowner was saying. This was an extreme case. It was, we were talking $500,000 different, that the house had severe damage. So it was that the assessor needed to verify that. But most cases, you're going to go in a hearing and it's going to be, virtual phone, whatever. They're not going to actually come to your house. You don't need to tidy up or anything like that.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good to know. Why is it important to consult a realtor on this?
Realtors have the tools that can help you get the comparable sales that you need. The state will tell you, or the county will tell you what comparable sales they use. You can request that as well. When you appeal, they'll show you the whatever the 5, 6, 9 number of properties that they are comparing you to. But a realtor can look at recent sales. They may know a little bit more about certain properties and help you get a better value. It's also important to know a lot of homeowners, you may have your appeal hearing in April, and in the most recent sales have the most weight in the appeal process. So logically, you may think, all right, my appeal's in April. I'm going to pull comparable sales from March, February, January. However, this notice went out on December 31st. So you need to make sure you're pulling comparable sales from December 31st back in time.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So you mentioned comparables. What would be a good comp?
A comparable sale is any residential real estate sale that was not a short sale,
Okay.
not a foreclosure, and not what we call non-arm's length transaction. This is like a father buying a home from his son, or something, some kind of family connection that typically reduces the value of the property.
Got it. All right. All right. Now, I'm sure there are folk out there wondering what happens if you go through this initial process and the county or the state, they disagree. Do you have any recourse after that?
You do have recourse. The good news is if something comes up in the meeting, they cannot raise your assessment value right now. They can use that information in the future when they reassess you in 3 years, but in the short term, it can't hurt. If you don't like the results of the appeal hearing, there is a second level appeal that you can go to. It is a informal hearing. It's the assessor, and then there's a board of assessors from the county. There's 3 people, and you both kind of plead your case. And then they don't make the ruling there, but within a couple of weeks, they notify you the final results of that hearing. If you don't like that, there is another level. This is with the Maryland Tax Court. If you get this far, this is when you want to start consulting an attorney.
Yeah.
Everything before that, I feel like a homeowner can handle themselves with a little bit of help from a realtor.
Okay, great. Now, that's important because, people are going to get this. A lot of people, I would think, are going to get that notice and they're just going to think it's a fait accompli, and, they're not going to know any better. So this is great information to tell people that they do have some redress possibly to take a look at this assessment. Now, can you walk viewers through filing the actual form?
Yeah, absolutely. It's they made it very easy. It's online now. Back when I did it, you had to do everything, and we had to either do certified mail or some kind of e-fax where it would confirm receipt. Now you can go online and do it. It's much easier. I kind of mentioned it earlier. You can request the hearing. There's option 1 is to submit an appeal in writing. If you do it in writing, and I would do it in writing anyway, put it in a nice spreadsheet so
Sure.
that the assessor can see what you're coming from and review it. In that spreadsheet, put the property address, put the square footage, put the number of bedrooms, so you can show them what you are comparing. If you want to take it beyond writing, and I would take it beyond writing, either a phone hearing or a video conference. That way you're just giving the assessor the opportunity to ask questions and clarify what you've given them. And then there's the fourth option of the in-person hearing. With COVID, I wouldn't go near that, but sure. that's up to you. The next question on there is, what comparable sales would you like to use for this appeal? When you submit the form, just write TBD. You don't need to do that work now. I always reiterate to people, don't let the weight of doing this stop you from getting the form in. You can submit the form and then provide your comparable sales later. They'll give you a notice. Usually they give you 30 days when you're having your hearing. They give you the name and number of the assessor that you're going to meet with. At that time, then you can send them your comps.
Okay.
And then last, it asks you if you want the sales that they used to find your value and the property worksheet. Now, these do cost, I think it's $1, but it's well worth it just to see what they're comparing you to.
Sure. Now, my last question for you, Chris, is how often does this process take place? How often can a homeowner expect this assessment to occur?
You can expect it every 3 years, or if you pull permits to do something major. I think it's $50,000 or more. If you add a garage or an addition, anytime you pull permits, that's going to create some more value to the property. Then you'll find you're getting a new notice.
Got it. Okay. Chris, I lied a little bit. This is the last question. Now we've got some viewers from other states and whatnot, and a few other countries. Now, if you live in another country, I'm sorry, we can't help you on this. But if you live somewhere else in the United States, we've been speaking specifically about the situation in Maryland. What would you suggest the viewer do if they're in another state? Who should they go to in government to kind of figure out their process?
Every state is different. For example, Virginia, they do the reassessment every year.
Okay.
And every year you have the opportunity to do it. If you want to see, or want some more information about it, if you Google the county you live in and assessor's office, that'll pretty much take you where you need to go.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you, Chris. Once again, this has been invaluable information to help people out and give them some insight into the larger process. And we'll do it again soon. We'll bring some more information to the people.
Always enjoy talking to you, Tyrone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chris.